A good detective never sleeps.
There are some guys looking for you, asking a lot of questions.
What kind of guys?
Tough guys. Very tough guys, Mike.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 film noir. For this list, since experts fail to agree on a standard definition for the genre, we're limiting our choices to gritty, cynical thrillers and crime dramas from the early 40s to late 50s that are shot in black and white. Sorry, Jimmy. Number 10, Strangers on a Train. You never know when you're gonna bump wingtips with the wrong fella.
Let's say that you'd like to get rid of your wife.
That's a morbid thought.
No. Just suppose. Let's say that you had a very good reason.
And then, don't you know it, a little chit-chat and a few wild assumptions later, he's murdering your wife and blackmailing you into taking out his rich father.
I may be old-fashioned, but I thought murder was against the law.
My theory is that everybody is a potential murderer.
Alfred Hitchcock's place in film noir history is the subject of debate, but this is one of the few that meets the criteria according to most. With its sinister story, amoral characters, and unspoken secrets, Strangers on a Train is a thriller for the ages. Number 9, In a Lonely Place.
Squeeze harder. It's wonderful to feel her throat crush under your arm.
Rob, stop it!
I didn't hurt you, did I?
You've never seen Humphrey Bogart this creepy. As misanthropic screenwriter Dick Steele, a man who never saw a problem he couldn't punch or drink his way out of, he finds himself at the center of a murder investigation, and his beautiful bride-to-be must decide whether he's the real killer or just kind of a jerk.
You weren't sure of him either, and you know him better than anybody else. Why can't he be like other people?
Though the murder mystery is at this film's core, the love story between Bogart's flawed hero and his equally damaged lady is the true star, making theirs a doomed noir romance.
You're a horrible, conceited, good-for-nothing, and I don't love you. It's your money I'm after.
Hey, turn off the radio, will you? Get some music.
Number 8, Kiss Me Deadly.
Sorry I nearly wrecked your pretty little car.
Whether you consider it a classic or a campy B-movie, Kiss Me Deadly's influence is undeniable.
She's passed out.
I'll bring her to.
If you revive her, do you know what that will be? Resurrection. That's what it will be. And do you know what resurrection means? It means raise the dead.
Quintessential tough guy Ralph Meeker plays Mike Hammer, a hardened private eye who picks up the wrong hitchhiker. Cloris Leachman wearing not but a trench coat. With a classic movie MacGuffin driving the plot, and inspiring the likes of Repo Man and Pulp Fiction, this late addition to the noir genre blends elements of sci-fi and nihilism to produce a genre-defining effort. Number 7, Notorious.
I'm not afraid to die. You've got your chance here and now.
In one of the most subtle, romantic films of his career, Alfred Hitchcock pairs Cary Grant with Ingrid Bergman as a couple trying to root out Nazis from Brazil. While it combines many of the visual and storytelling aspects central to film noir, experts cannot agree if this spy thriller truly belongs to the genre.
Oh, it's quite a jolly little cottage.
Let me show you around the place.
Later, his nips is on the trail.
One reason for this discrepancy is the film's notorious kiss. While many noir films romanced in the shadows, this one plays out for audiences to enjoy.
This is a very strange love affair.
Why?
Maybe the fact that you don't love me.
Number 6, The Third Man.
Old man, you never should have gone to the police, you know. You ought to leave this thing alone.
One of the all-time classics of the genre, The Third Man has a style all its own.
Harry, get away. The police are outside. Quick.
Anna.
With the winding plot twisting its way through Allied-occupied Vienna, the story follows the standard noir characters, the rough-hewn, plain-speaking good guy, the shadowy bad guy, and the beautiful femme fatale. Plus, with elements like a mustachioed Inspector Clouseau-esque villain, A grinning Orson Welles and comical but unforgettable score, Carol Reed's intricate mystery blends comedy, suspense, and ultimately tragedy with seamless ease.
In Italy, for 30 years under the Borgias, they had warfare, terror, murder, and bloodshed, but they produced Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and the Renaissance. In Switzerland, they had brotherly love. They had 500 years of democracy and peace, and what did that produce? The cuckoo clock.
Number 5, Touch of Evil.
Do you realize I haven't kissed you in over an hour?
Less than a decade after our previous entry, audiences witnessed the handsomely charming Wells transformed into the ruthlessly corrupt and seemingly twice as large police captain Hank Quinlan.
You are a policeman, aren't you?
He squares off with Charlton Heston, who is evidently supposed to be Mexican, in what is considered one of the final films in the film noir genre.
What do I do?
Keep after him, break him! Brace him!
It's also one of the best, with its brilliantly directed serpentine story, rich supporting characters, and ominous, genre-appropriate atmosphere. Too bad Wells never directed another Hollywood film again.
That halo.
Yeah?
Looks real pretty on you, Pete. Pretty soon you'll be flapping your wings like an angel.
Number 4, Sunset Boulevard.
The poor dope. He always wanted a pool. Well, in the end, he got himself a pool.
Hollywood dreams die hard. In one of the greatest and most meta films ever, Billy Wilder's Sunset Boulevard features aging former silent movie star Gloria Swanson as agent silent movie star Norma Desmond. An assortment of other Hollywood greats, from director Cecil B. DeMille to Buster Keaton, play themselves or versions of, as William Holden navigates the perks and pitfalls of rubbing elbows with the rich, famous, and insane.
What are you doing?
I'm packing.
You're leaving me.
Yes, I am, Norma.
No, you're not.
And somehow, throwing film noir elements into that mix makes this classic bizarrely comical.
The cameras and those wonderful people out there in the dark. All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Number 3, Double Indemnity.
Is there anything I can do?
The insurance ran out on the 15th. I'd hate to think of you having a smashed fender or something while you're not fully covered.
Oh, how we long for the era when the insurance man came right to your door and tried to seduce your wife, and possibly plotted to kill you. Well, maybe the good old days weren't so perfect.
There's something wrong with the Dietrichson case.
Why, because he didn't file a claim? Maybe he just didn't have time.
Maybe he just didn't know that he was insured.
The product of a collaboration between noir titans, writer Raymond Chandler, and director Billy Wilder, and based on a James M. Cain story, Double Indemnity is perhaps the most quintessential noir ever, with its rough language and strong sexual undertones. It's also a reminder to always read the fine print.
It isn't the money anymore. It's our necks. We're pulling out, do you understand?
Because of what Keys can do? You're not fooling me, Walter. It's because of Lola, what you did to her father. You're afraid she might find out someday, and you can't take it, can you?
I said leave her out of this.
Number 2, The Big Sleep.
Remember I told you I was beginning to like another one of the Sternwoods?
I wish you'd show it.
That should be awful easy.
Based on Chandler's first book to feature the great noir detective Philip Marlowe, and future inspiration for the big Lebowski, this black and white Howard Hawks masterwork sees Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall in the roles they were quote-unquote born to play, as they navigate a convoluted criminal investigation. With more moving parts than a Swiss watch, Marlowe tries to set the record for having the most guns pointed at him without getting shot.
He'll take chances, mister.
And, you know, he saves the day by staying cool through impossibly stressful situations.
Over here, Canino.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Tell me all about it.
Tramp. Cheap, little, no-good tramp.
She said Mr. Emmerich was here in this house with her from 11:30 p.m. to 3 a.m. last Friday night.
Is that the statement you made?
Yes, sir.
Was it the truth?
Jeff, you ought to have killed me for what I did a moment ago.
There's time.
No, you won't. I've never stopped loving you.
What's the gag? Is the heat on? Plenty. Face the wall. Put your mitts up. All of you.
Number 1. The Maltese Falcon. Not only is our top pick widely considered the best film noir, it's also considered by many to be the first. Most amazing of all, it was legendary director John Huston's first feature, made on a B-movie-sized budget and based on a book that had already failed twice on the screen. Starring Humphrey Bogart as, get this, a private detective. Okay, well, the premise might not seem revolutionary, but virtually every aspect of filmmaking was, setting Bogey up for his future successes and setting the standard for film noir.
What is it?
The stuff that dreams are made of.
Do you agree with our list? What noirs make you wish all films could be in black and white? Keep it tuned to WatchMojo.com for more top 10s published every day.